Since CrossFit is still a relatively young sport, the advice on how to improve is constantly evolving. To help you make progress, today I will be sharing 2 tips on how to perform better in CrossFit, with number 1 being managing rest times. In a Metcon, the goal is to move as fast as possible, either to finish quicker or to perform more reps within a given amount of time. But because CrossFit workouts range from intense to extremely intense, it is very rare to finish a workout without having to take a single break, no matter how short. You'll almost always need a few seconds to catch your breath between exercises, sets, or even reps. That means your total time will always be divided between working time when you're actively performing the exercises and rest time when you're either recovering or transitioning to the next exercise. Even elite athletes don't do unbroken sets as fast as they can without any pause before sprinting to the next exercise unless it's a very short sprint-like workout. The natural instinct for most people is to go as fast as possible while minimizing rest. But here's the catch. Those rest periods often hide a lot of potential time. When you take a break mid-set to breathe, you'll often rest more than you need without even realizing it, partly because your body wants that recovery, and partly because time feels like it flies during high effort. On top of that, every break can add extra transitions. For example, if you're doing jerks and you drop the barbell mid-set, you'll need to reset everything. Walk back to the barbell, grab it, bring it back to your shoulders. This costs time and energy. By contrast, movements like deadlift, which start and finish on the ground, lend themselves much better to drop and go repetitions because you can just drop the bar and immediately reset without wasting much time. Overall, it's often more efficient to perform a longer set with steady, controlled pace than to blast through short, all-out sets with longer rests. Of course, this depends on the workout and the exercises, but it also affects your conditioning. Longer, steady efforts challenge your cardiovascular system differently than interval-styled bursts of max effort followed by longer rests. Number 2, training with intention. The second advice is about how you approach your movements, especially during strength or technique work. Because CrossFit has so many repetitions at high intensity, it is easy to sacrifice movement quality for speed during a Metcon. While that's not ideal, it's still understandable when you're chasing performance in a specific workout. But in training, the goal is improvement, not just performance, which means that sometimes in training, performance has to take a backseat to learning. For example, if you're training hypertrophy, the goal is not to move the weights as fast as possible. You want to control the repetitions and feel the tension. If you're training maximal strength with heavy weights, you have to take proper rest in between sets. These principles apply to CrossFit too. Train with the right intentions. Fully investing yourself in each movement will not only help you get more out of them, but also develop better technique over time. It's normal to focus on technique when learning a new skill, but it can also be extremely useful in training Metcons. Taking 1 more seconds to focus about your posture and movement mechanics under fatigue can go a long way in helping you improve long term. Remember, don't put the cart before the horse. Moving well is a prerequisite to moving fast. Long-term performance is built on solid foundations. So yes, training properly requires effort and discipline, but it also requires you to stay engaged in everything you do. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything else, feel free to drop a comment down below. And if you want to contact me straight through my social medias, the links are in the description. I'll see you next Sunday, and until then, train hard, stay consistent, and never forget, make yourself proud.